Every generation has a pivotal point and a role to play. In the 1900s, it was World War I. Then came the Great Depression. And of course, we know about all of the hardships that we faced in World War II. And we appreciate all of our veterans here today who fought for our freedom. In the 80s, it was showing the Soviet Union that capitalism is better than socialism. And now we have a challenge. This is our opportunity, this is our challenge of our generation, and we must act now. So how can we take action? How can we make a difference? That's the question. We are very blessed to have representatives here in East Texas like Louie Gohmert and Louie Gohmert. But not everybody is as hardworking and dedicated and God-loving as these individuals are. So we need to get the word out to Washington. We need to take action. Congressman Gohmert couldn't make it today, but we are blessed and we're very grateful to have Jonna Fitzgerald here who has a letter and has some words from our congressman. And as I mentioned earlier, we are very blessed to have Louie Gohmert here in East Texas. But not everybody is as blessed, so we need to help them out as much as possible. So please now, help me welcome with a great round of applause, Jonna Fitzgerald.
Dear Patriots, thank you for your efforts and your presence here today. This is a crucial time for our nation. The Obama administration and liberal leadership in Congress are attempting to disregard the expressed and clear will of the American people and push through a government power and financial grab that violates the fundamental values on which this country was built. Since the liberal health care bill makes dramatic cuts to seniors' Medicare, it cannot be fairly said that this is to help them. Since it will spend $1 to $2 trillion more, it cannot honestly be said to save money. Since it will collect more taxes from small businesses and employees, it cannot be said to ease tax burdens. So clearly, it is about the federal government's insatiable desire for more control. Thomas Jefferson captured this unsettling tension in his admonition, "The natural progress of things is for liberty to yield and government to gain ground." But as evidenced by your presence here today, we understand that this dangerous power grab is neither the progress nor the change that Americans desire, but it is rather the endangerment of freedoms and innovation that propelled this young nation to becoming the greatest in the world, greater than the socialist nations that many recognize we are on the path to modeling. Though a prior commitment made months ago prevents me from physically being with you today, I stand with you in spirit against the tyranny of this government takeover. In a matter of months, thousands of pages of bills have passed Congress that were not even read by those who blindly supported them. I was the first to beg fellow members of Congress last fall during the bailout debate to read the bill. I said, if you do, you will know we don't do this to America. Read the bill. Surely if members knew what lay buried in the mountains of legislation we've dealt with this year, they wouldn't vote in favor of policies that drown our citizens and future generations in unfathomable debt, skyrocket our taxes, that kill American jobs, and close the doors of our small businesses. Yet, as if trillions of dollars worth of debt, debilitating unemployment, and vast public outcry wasn't enough to deter the radical left from following through with their poor decisions, they are pursuing this government takeover of healthcare. Whether you call it single payer, universal healthcare, government-run healthcare, a federally funded public option, a federally funded co-op, it has what Representative Barney Frank, Speaker Pelosi, and President Obama, when he was a candidate, promised: the government takeover of healthcare. Government takeover of healthcare will require rationing services, wait lists for necessary care spanning months and even years, a loss in medical specialization, and will stifle the innovation that makes our healthcare the best in the world. With all of that comes the unavoidable inability to get needed life-saving treatment and care. For the sake of this nation's survival and progress, we cannot afford to go down this road. It is imperative that we seek true healthcare reform that protects the vital patient-doctor relationship, leaving the decision-making up to you and your physician and guaranteeing you access to the treatment you need when you need it with the doctor of your choosing at a price that is affordable and covered. Please be assured that as you fight to protect the liberties of this great nation, I will continue to fight in Washington, D.C. for you. If Congress insists on forcing this healthcare abomination into American citizens, then those who vote in favor of it should be required to back up that support by being the first customers of the government program. Which is why I'm an original co-sponsor of Representative Dr. John Fleming's H.R. 615 that says just that. As a signer of Let Freedom Ring's responsible healthcare reform pledge, I also refuse to vote in favor of a healthcare reform bill that has not been given an appropriate amount of time for personal review by both members of Congress and American citizens. I will represent your voices by opposing any legislation that puts the federal government or insurance companies between you and your doctor. I will instead promote better solutions, such as the Patient-Controlled Healthcare Protection Bill, H.R. 3478, that I recently filed, that empowers patients and gives you access to quality, timely, and affordable healthcare coverage you need and deserve. It saves money, but at the same time, it gives complete coverage and complete control to seniors for the first time in over 40 years. It also sets us on a course to not only save this nation from bankruptcy, but also on a new course back toward prosperity and individual liberty. We must persevere and stand up against this threat that quite literally affects the lives of every American. Keep the faith and keep fighting, writing, and calling till all of Washington gets the message, and a majority there once again represents a majority of the people. But don't stop there. But don't stop there. You have friends and family in other districts or states. They must do the same. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless America. Yours very truly, Louie.